Here is the hidden belief that is keeping your manifestation stuck, and I'm going to tell you guys how to replace it so that you can fix the situation. Your manifesting experience will be far more streamlined, simple, and quick. Hey guys, today we are talking about how to get to that end result, how to experience the physical shifts that you want, getting to actually see it in your external reality using your inner reality. So I'm going to dive into this topic today, give you guys lots of quantum physics based topics because it really does tie in. It's all about the mindset and mentally experiencing it in order to get the reality that you want. So I'm going to go into all of that today. Thank you guys for watching. Welcome if you're new here. Please do hit that thumbs up, subscribe button, maybe even turn on the notification bell if you want to stay up to date, because you don't want to miss out when I have new content, updates. I'm posting so regularly. I'm sure there'll be lots of content that will personally help you. So yeah, also take a look on screen for my special offers, coaching, the discounts I have going on, all of that. And if you are interested, you just want to maybe look into it a little more. Obviously you're never obligated to fully buy, but you can, look into what I offer and consider it, because I have a membership that's super affordable. I have one-to-one coaching. So yeah, everything is right below the screen in the description box. And now let's get into the video. So why is your manifestation stuck? Well, manifesting is a lot more than just the concept of affirming or visualizing. Those are excellent tools to get to the end result. They're very powerful, but it's the repetition that is going to teach your mind how to shift that, how to actually accept it as a belief instead of just, recognizing or imagining or focusing on it temporarily in the moment. And then going back to your 3D, going back to the same way of thinking, the same issues, the same mistakes, whatever it may be. If you just apply a little bit of affirming and then wonder why your reality isn't shifting, it takes more than that to create the physical shift. The repetition is literally teaching your mind what to accept as a belief. That's how you're training it. It's literally like, revising a topic, studying something at school. You're literally training your mind to say, well, this is what I believe. This is what I accept now. This is where my focus is going to be. So, delving into something slightly different, but I did want to touch on the point of obsessive attachment, because it's not, you don't detach to manifest. That's law of attraction, where you have to completely be like, blasé, just not care. That's not realistic. That's not possible. We're human beings. We're not AI. So, our emotions are going to be up and down. And an obsessive attachment would be where you're obsessively trying to gain reassurance, validation, proof. You're constantly looking outwards externally, analyzing everything, quantifying it, which would be, counting the days and trying to really look at everything externally and use that as your proof or evidence or lack thereof, and then continue that cycle. Because if you tell yourself there's no shift, there's no movement, there's no change, then you're going to slow things down, or you're actually going to create no positive change. Because if that's where your dominant focus is and you're obsessively in a negative way attached to the outcome, which would reaffirm lack to yourself, because you would in one way or another, whether it's directly or in other words, saying, I don't have it yet, I'm waiting for it. That is reaffirming that you don't have it. So it is a negative form of attachment to obsess over trying to achieve the end result, not obsessing over, being married to your SP, earning $1 million, that kind of stuff. That's positive thinking. If you want to obsess over it positively, that's fine, but it would have to be on the end result. So if you are looking externally and you're obsessing over what you're seeing, you're trying to really analyze and just, instead of focusing on thinking as if you have it now, you're looking at all the different elements, that is going to cause resistance. So in quantum physics terms, your physical reality is going to be shifted by observation. So literally when you observe something, it materializes, right? It comes to fruition. So it's the energy, it's the focus, you're observing it. So it could be visualizing, mentally observing it, mentally imagining. I don't literally mean, looking at the scene physically playing out, obviously, because you wouldn't be even experiencing that. But I literally mean like observing what it is you want, thinking about it, deciding, applying consistency and repetition to that end result, imagining it's already here in your life. By observing it, putting your mental focus, your energy into that, connecting with that end result as if it were here now. You don't have to fully believe that, but you just mentally experience that. that is you quantum shifting into that reality. You're making it more real, more realistic. Your mind is connecting to that. Your mind will not be able to decipher the difference between what you imagine and what's actually real. And then when it comes to the doubt that you experience, that is held onto by your subconscious. Your subconscious mind, the conscious mind doubts as well, but subconscious will hold on to the doubt when you repeat it, when it stems from a belief, when it's connected to a belief. Your conscious mind from the ego, from trying to protect you, will focus on that, but the subconscious mind will hold on to it if it's repetitive, if it's what you've kind of experienced up until now. There have been negative circumstances, you just have negative assumptions. The subconscious will hold on to that, not permanently, obviously. Any belief is malleable, it can be shaped, it can be changed, but it will hold on to it if you continue that. If you you might be feeling doubt or questioning things, but it ties into something, whether it's SP is taking so long to conform, why am I getting ghosted, why haven't I seen the physical change in this, all of that is the stem, that is the thought that you might be repeating that connects to the doubt, and that is where your subconscious will hold on to it. So waiting for that evidence to show up, waiting for the proof, keeps you in the mental state of, I don't have it yet. It hasn't shown up yet. It's still not here. I'm still manifesting, all those kind of things, those kind of thoughts, which in themselves, obviously, logically, I guess realistically, it makes sense. Yes, physically, you're not literally living the exact life you want yet right now, but you don't acknowledge that. If you do, apply a mental diet, or just let the thought go. Don't panic, don't overanalyze, don't spiral, get back into your positive routine, refocus your mind on what it is that you want. So 1 or 2 thoughts, I'm not saying, that's going to keep you in a bad state or block your manifestation from coming in. But when you wait for proof to show up, when you're waiting for reassurance, you're just analyzing and really consciously, strongly aware that it's not here yet, or that, you're looking at a blank phone screen, whatever it may be, it's not going to obviously permanently affect things. You can't ruin your manifestation by that. And especially, 1 or 2 thoughts, I want to emphasize that, but it is keeping you in a mental state where you're reaffirming what it is that you don't want, or that you're still lacking that physical end result. So it is going to slightly counteract the end result that you have been focusing on with your affirmations, visualizing, the repetition that you have put in. If it's not been significant and your full dominant state every day, like the dominant state, then it is going to slow things down a bit. So again, if you have thoughts, or you believe in the idea that you need to be able to see it to know that it's coming true, or that believe that it's even possible, or you just are holding on to this idea that your physical reality and 3D right now, or like until you can feel good or accept it, has to show you what you want, then that is a mental contradiction to what you're creating. So again, following on from that point, it's energetically not aligned, which again with the quantum shift aligns there. Again, that's not your emotions. You don't use your emotions to manifest. You have to engage your mindset, the mental state, but energetically, you're not connecting with the physical reality that you want. You can't quantum shift into that reality, if we're tying in quantum physics. If you're not fully connected, you can't imagine and see and believe that reality could be yours, and what that would look like, and you can imagine it being here now, then you're not going to be able to experience that physically. You need to be able to apply that mental repetition. And if you're coming from that mindset of, it's not real unless I see that proof, it's not real until I get the evidence, I need to see in my 3D reality. Again, reaffirming from lack. It's not the mindset you should have. And it's always a case of, you will see it when you believe it, not I'll believe it when I see it. It's always the other way around. So essentially, just remember that the law of assumption reflects your dominant state. So is the majority of your thoughts about your manifestation? It doesn't have to be like your entire 70,000 or so thoughts per day, or your whole life be positive, but at least the way you speak or think or imagine the context of what you're manifesting, whether it's career, personal growth, money, relationship. I know SP is a really big manifestation, probably the biggest topic within the manifesting community. Are the majority of your thoughts, your dominant thoughts, positive, or at the very least neutral? Something, that's not saying I don't have it, or this situation is really bad, or let's remind ourselves of those horrible circumstances. As long as you're not doing that, you are holding a positive dominant state. So it's your mental focus. So when I say that, it can literally just be you saying 1,000 affirmations a day. And then that's kind of the only time you ever think of your, SP or your manifestation. Or you visualize consistently every single day. You see something negative in 3D, you detach from it, you just disengage, and then you go and, do a little mental diet affirmation. That is a good way. That is an example of how your dominant state is aligned with what you want. No matter what's showing up, no matter what logic might try to come up, you are still persisting, you are still looping and applying consistency to those methods. But this really comes down to embodying and mentally embodying. You can do it emotionally and, energetically. You can connect in that way, especially through meditation. But mentally embodying the version of you who has it. As I always say, think as if it's here right now. Just think thoughts. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to act it. We're not here to create a Hollywood production. You don't have to completely fake it. You just have to repeat it. So affirmations are the simplest way to do it. If you have the time or you enjoy it, obviously visualizing is another really great, powerful tool, even scripting, because that's also verbal. So you're literally, thinking of words, but then the subconscious takes it in visually. And that can be even more descriptive. You need to think of yourself and imagine already being the version of you in the near future who has that. What does your life look like? What kind of thoughts do you have? How does your day go? What's your mental state? What's your mental well-being? Work towards that. Try and build that up. Try and embody it and literally make it come true. Like feeling positive, confident, happy, grateful, fulfilled. You're thriving in life. You don't want to be miserable when you get your manifestation. Another little checklist thing is stop checking for results. External validation, evidence, movement. The movement will be shown to you. The movement will come to you. The results will come to you. You don't need to go out seeking things, like I said at the beginning, in this state of lack where you're just waiting for validation. You don't need it. Your own mind is where the validation should be coming from. So the only thing that's really going to remove the resistance and speed things up and keep you on the right track with your manifestation is the inner shift. Shifting your identity, your mental state. Literally just the thoughts that you think. That's what it all comes down to simplify it, because I don't want to just speak in like jargon or terminology, but that is literally, to put it simply, repetitively thinking as if you have it. The consistency is what will shift your thought patterns, the subconscious patterns, the subconscious beliefs. All of that can only align when you do this consistently. It does need at least a little bit of repetition. Really just trust that your manifestation is inevitable. It's coming together. It's going to be yours any day now. You can say that. That's not a negative thought. That's a good mental diet, reassuring affirmation. Just keep reminding yourself it's going to happen. I'm persisting. I'm putting in the effort. I'm the creator of my reality. And I said what I said. I said it how it is. So yeah, try and get into that mindset. But I hope this video was useful. If you enjoyed it, if you'd like more of this kind of content, please do subscribe to my channel, thumbs up the video to let me and YouTube know, turn on the notification bell, and yeah, I'll see you next time.